Greetings, being, and it's Easter Sunday 2012, also known as April 8th. I want to talk to you today about, it's easy to call this little ditty loving what you hate. Maybe a better way to phrase it would be using what you hate. Now, I know you know I don't use that word, hate, anymore because of its energetic vibration and my choice not to really go there. But it's also a term that we fling around all the time, and I realize that. So I want to just talk today about encouraging you to practice something. And that is that when you are noticing something you hate, or you don't like, or would rather not see or experience, to get in the habit, if you're not already, and if you're not, this is just a reminder, and if you are, rock on. You can skip this part. But when we see things that we don't like, the good news is, as we are taught, is that it always points us in the direction of something we would prefer, something that we would like, something that we enjoy, something that we would like to experience. And yet the trap that we so often fall into is we find something we don't like, we latch onto it, we feed it with our energy, we think about how much we don't like it, we talk with others about how much we don't like it, we look for evidence in the world about how awful this thing is. Meanwhile, we're just feeding the monster, as it were. So those of us who are willing and able to look a little bit more holistically at life and our experiences really have to get into the habit of shifting our energy and using the things that we don't like as a springboard into feeding and creating and experiencing things that we would prefer. So let's say you notice something about yourself that you don't like. How easy is it to get into a spiral of thinking, I'm such a loser, I'm such an idiot, I hate when I do that, I can't believe I'm still like that or doing that thing. Doesn't really help much, does it? And yet, the opportunity starts with noticing the thing that you're not liking about yourself. I don't like when I talk to people in that way. I don't like when let's just stay with that, right? Okay, so I don't like it. Well, boom, right there, can we stop and say, okay, I don't like when I do that. What would I prefer to be? Who else would I prefer to be? Or who am I really that I'm not exhibiting? Whatever the thought process is for you is what it is. Again, the opportunity to say, wow, here's something about myself I'm noticing that I don't like. What would I prefer? And can I? Of course I can, but am I willing, am I able to shift my energy, and how quickly, into what it is I'd prefer? Wow, I really like when I'm open with people and compassionate with people and present with people and I meet them where they are and I listen better. Then do that. And I know you know what I'm talking about, and it sounds so rational and logical, and that's why I'm using this message this week to just encourage you to practice. Now let's say it's something that we see in another person. That's often a lot easier, right? So we notice things in other people. Wow, I really don't like that he does that. I can't stand it when she does that. She is such a jerk when she's always doing blah, 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 right? Nice, fine, easy, very colloquial, very, we could probably grab a friend and say, doesn't it really suck when she does that? Or when he does that thing that he does? I mean, don't you hate that? Right? So it's easy, and it's just become, I think, practically normal. Not practically, it has become normal to just find camaraderie in that way. and be judgmental about other people and things, when in fact all that's happening is, before we get so caught up in the layering upon and layering upon and layering upon this person's stuff, all our ideas about how awful we think it is, underneath all of that, if we can back it up, is something that we prefer. Wow, I really like when people are kind. I really like when people are considerate. And then, can you, in this practice, encourage that behavior? Can you even find it somewhere else, even if you're not the one who is generating it in this particular moment? Instead of finding what you're not liking, can you again use that as a springboard into finding something that you prefer? Wow, look at this person. She's fantastic. He's dynamite. I love when he does this. Or you see it on TV, or you see it in the news, or anywhere. Can you use, again, the foil of what you don't like as a springboard into something you do like, and find places where you can, if you're not creating it yourself, and of course there's always that opportunity, can you encourage it, even if it's energetically in another or where you see it? Now the same goes for worldwide events or events in the news that we see things that we don't like. The most, I think, obvious example would be, for many of us, you look in the newspaper, you watch TV, you see the news and reports about war and terrorism and all of that, and oh, how awful and how awful and how horrible. So can we stop and just say, wow, I really don't like war. I don't like it. So what can I do? What is it in me that I would prefer to see? Well, I'd prefer to see peace. I'd prefer to see people getting along. I'd prefer to see harmony and happiness and love and light. Well, are you doing that? Are you using the war and your experience of it, your witnessing of it, as an opportunity to create its opposite, that you would actually prefer, peace? And we know everything is energy, so we don't have to go to the war zone and set up a peace tent and create peace talks. Although if that's what you're compelled to do, go do that. But if you're not, you can, in your own being, probably without needing anybody else, cultivate peace within yourself, cultivate joy, cultivate brotherhood, cultivate calm and harmony within yourself, within your immediate world. Again, using the experience of war, the witnessing of war, as the foil, as the springboard into that. So we're not talking about anything new as usual, but I really want to encourage you to practice and get back to me and let me know how it goes and if and where you get stuck. To practice using the things in your experience that are just reflections of you, by the way, that you don't like, as opportunities to begin cultivating that which you do. So that's it. Again, I'd really like to hear back from you in terms of how this is, how easy, how difficult it is to do, what you notice by doing this, if you're already really good at doing it, how it's changed your experience, any or all of those things. I'm always happy to hear from you. So until we meet again, have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Peace.